Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Magic the Gathering Duels of the Poop Scoopers. Poop scooping all day, all
Half-Life 3
century.
confirmed.
Half-Life 3 actually confirmed. Like, that does
It's
actually...
out right now. I just downloaded it.
It is actually out. Yeah, no, Austin just told us... I'm ready, by the way. Austin just told us that that the Dota 2 mod tools, which I'm excited about because there's going to be, like, Dota 2 custom game modes. Apparently that's running on Source 2.
It blows my mind because everyone's all like, we're recording this on a Thursday, the same Thursday that was after the day that Twitch did all its Twitch stuff. So everyone's Twitch.
We'll get to that next.
Yeah. But basically,
just
nice and quietly, Valve released the alpha. It's called the Alpha Workshop or something for Dota 2, and it runs on Source 2, and you can launch Dota 2. It's been ported into Source 2, and it like 90% works. And it like the game. What's crazy to me is the thing that like just to me was like really cool was that the game loads like instantly. Like
really,
it's amazing. Yeah, when you get into a game, it usually takes like 20 seconds. So to get to the game, it takes like 5 seconds in Source 2.
So they just kind of like pooted this thing out into the night silently and didn't even make an announcement.
No one really seems to notice. Like, I told you guys like 5 minutes ago, and you were like, really? I didn't know that. It's something that I would think would be all over gaming news sites everywhere, but no one really
And you said that they found Left 4 Dead 3 files in it, so that's also another thing.
I feel like no one really, like maybe by the time this video comes out, which is a few days from now, people will take notice, but Source 2 is out. You can
Do we know what about Source 2 is substantial over the original Source engine? Have there been docs that say? Engine. Well, I know, but like, why?
It's apparently it's super intensive on your PC, so you actually need a quite powerful PC to run things in Source 2.
Okay.
So it uses a lot. Like really, there's not much to be known about it because it's just kind of there.
So we don't know what the resource trade-off is, what we get out of that proposition for having it take up so many resources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it would make sense because like if we we need
Orlando
more,
levels
lighting.
Of bloom.
It would make sense because like the original Source engine lasted what? Like when did Half-Life 2 come out? Like
2006.
Yeah, so that's like almost 10 years old of the engine, so it probably is resource intensive because they're planning on making it last a decade, which it probably will, because, I mean, honestly, Source Engine stuff still looks pretty good. Like, even, like, Source Engine 1 stuff still runs pretty well and can look pretty good.
You guys all see that we all have the same fucking two stupid goblins out.
So I didn't want to make a comic, so we were all chatting, but it was...
Yeah.
No more chatting, let's talk about... No, let's go back
Source
to that.
2.
I don't want to talk about goblins.
Source 2, I'm most surprised at how quietly this is happening. Like, this Source 2 is a pretty big deal.
It's probably a conspiracy, right?
Right, yeah, no, it's being muted by Valve. They've been deleting
like, Obama tried to tell the world, and then Gavin was like, he put a finger to his lips.
That's why we're all talking about this net neutrality stuff, is so that they could silently release Source 2. Like, that's all it's about.
Oh, Comcast did this.
Yeah, like soon, I'm sure Gaben is gonna be like, hey,
the evil overlord. Oh my god!
3 confirmed while
from
Obama
his skull mansion on the side of a fucking mountain inside of Mount Rushmore. Instead of George Washington is gonna be Gaben's face, and inside of his face will be a fucking volcano lair.
Oh my!
Eye of Thundera. Let me see sight beyond sight.
Oh, I really like that he took it to Thundercats.
Oh yeah. I heard that they were making a new Thundercats, and I think they did. I think they did actually just come out with a new Thundercats.
That may have come and gone already, or it might have been on Cartoon Network, and I don't even think I knew about it because it looked shitty or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's probably fair.
Thundercats.
So Half-Life 3. So what features do we know about it right now? So there's gonna be like the best crowbar wood splintering, right? There's gonna be really good choppers. I'm thinking.
I think this is a joke about Half-Life that is kind of just untold, but like you're gonna fling it. I knew you were gonna fling it, but don't worry about it. But the thing that like I would say like 50% of the people who make Half-Life 3 jokes probably never played any of the Half-Life games.
Yeah,
I've never played any of the Half-Life games.
Really? I grew up.
I wasn't on PC terms when Half-Life came out. I was still a console bro. So,
well, the thing I want to know is why do people have so much invested in this game? Because I honestly didn't think that the hype worked to the extent that this amount of hype deserves or necessitates.
I think it's a Duke Nukem Forever kind of thing.
Yeah, like that's correct. That's right.
Yeah, but I think I can be a little bit more certain than I was with Duke Nukem Forever that Half-Life 3 is actually going to be good, not Duke Nukem Forever, because, you know, it's Valve.
Well, Duke Nukem got freaking passed around to, like, 5 different developers, or they rebuilt the engine, like, 5 times, I think is what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh, what is this telling me to do?
I'm surprised that they ever even really made that game. They really shouldn't have made it.
Well, if you follow the development, there was, like, a big list of shit that happened along the way, and it probably shouldn't have come out, like, 3 different times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mentor of the Meek.
Oh, yeah, I want to draw a card. Of course I want to. What are you fucking kidding me? Don't even ask me that. It took me like a half an hour to fucking read the text. Jesus.
Yeah, Duke Nukem Forever, that's, you know, one of those things.
I actually am one of the few people that'll go on record as saying that I don't think it was as awful as everyone says it was. But that being said, in the first 10 minutes of the game, you pick up a piece of shit and start throwing it at mirrors. So, do with that information what you will. I'm not saying it's amazing, but, you know.
It does have its own comedic value for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But
why does Mentor of the Meek have, other white creatures you control, +1/+1, I see.
Yeah,
you're gonna probably use your volcanic ogre now and get me out of your swamp.
Volcanic ogre.
Quest for the Goblin Lord.
Quest for the Volcanic Ogre Lord.
Oh, it's all Ogre Lord now.
It is all Ogre Lord now.
You're down to my swamp!
No. Stop it right
That's
now.
what magic is gonna be. It's gonna be weird laughing noises now. Yeah, no, it's the source. That's pretty cool. Like, I'm pretty excited about that.
I want to know what it means before I need to care about it. Yeah, whatever.
Bolt of Buttface, more like it.
Bolt of Gyaranos.
Tell me
how.
how.
Oh my god, it does it to everybody forever?
What?
What?
Your stupid gutter snipe fuckers. They do it. Yeah, damage to each opponent. Damn.
You have one too. How do you not know how that card works?
I thought it was like towards the opponent that you were using the instant on, but I guess it's to every opponent.
Yeah, this is like a central card to my deck, but I haven't actually read it yet.
It's not really central to my deck.
Okay.
It's like you know, tertiary at best.
Tertiary. Okay.
Yeah. It's like
Nimbus Wings.
What does that do?
Fuck.
Oh man.
I don't like that.
Wowie wee wow.
But don't do that.
Let's bring Borat back, guys.
Very nice.
Very nice. How much? Very nice.
Movie, I think.
What did I do?
You butthole. Hole of a butt.
I don't know. Whatever. I don't care.
He destroyed your thing.
I don't even care. I'm just whatever.
Yeah,
you're gonna all gang up on me eventually anyway.
I can't be mad. I mean, I can't, and I am, but
I'm a canned ham.
Are you?
That's actually like
nice.
It's like a man. Oh, yeah, it's Ken Ham, but I always think it's canned ham.
I think my favorite joke from Borat is the whole "not" segment. Like that. There's just
you cannot have this. That's not what it is.
It's when the guy is trying to teach him the "not" thing, and he's just. I can't remember what the joke was, but he's like, "You look very nice." Not.
He waited like way longer than that, so it was nice. He kind of wobbled his head a little bit to an invisible beat as he was doing that.
Yeah.
He's actually like Sacha Baron Cohen is like legitimately a genius. Like he is so fucking.
Yeah, but then watch Dictator and tell me that because that was like a legitimately horrible movie.
Yeah, that seemed pretty bad. But you know, I don't know how much of that was him really.
I'm gonna hope none of it. Because I pretty much have liked Ali G, Borat, and what was the other one? The German guy. I can't remember his name now.
Buttersnipe.
Yeah, Buttersnipe. That was the guy. Germanic Buttersnipe was the other movie.
Germanic Buttersnipe. That was an excellent film.
That's like a great alcoholic beverage. Germanic Buttersnipe.
It's fantastic.
There's a buttery nipple. That's a thing.
It's a buttery snipple.
I mean, I could go grab some butter and put it on my nipple, and I'd have a buttery nipple, but I'm not going to brag about it.
Yeah, you should probably keep that to yourself.
Okay. Not.
Not. He got to me. He got to me.
That's good.
I could not have this. I could not have this. Dude, Borat was the only thing that anyone talked about for like 2 months. It was so dumb.
It was good.
I mean, it really was.
Oh,
really...
that guy.
Yeah, he's a storm breather.
He's breathing storm.
Yeah, he's breathing storms. He's really gonna do anything.
I tried to have a flying creature and I wasn't allowed. So why do you get that?
No flying creatures for you ever. What's this thing? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So,
Rob, you have one of those too.
Yep.
No, I don't have a Charmander Devil.
Oh, you don't? Oh, that was
no
Nick.
Charmander Devil.
Still be mad at you, though.
I don't have any Charmander Devils.
Not.
No Charmander Devil, not. So, you want to talk about how Twitch is fucking broken forever and all the bad things in the world happened?
Literally.
And the outbreak of Ebola and all of that?
Pretty sure Twitch invaded Poland.
Yeah, Twitch is actually building an army. I don't know if you saw the tank. It's been invading.
Join the Twitch army today.
On Google Plus comments for the last month. No, that didn't happen. So you guys are probably as not that frustrated as I am, right?
I'm super frustrated.
That
word like that, but
is it worth clearing the air first and just saying that like everybody that's spewing hate and vitriol doesn't actually even know what the real story is?
It's like I was pretty unhappy initially. Then I was like, all right, not the end of the world. And then after the Twitch AMA, I'm like, all right, you know.
I didn't actually still even see that, so if you want to let me know what happened in that.
It was a weird combination of him avoiding questions and answering questions.
That's exactly what I thought.
He was being both transparent and not transparent at the same time. Like, not.
All my cards just went away. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You should shock the other. You really should have shocked the other.
You should shock my monkey, Rob. How about that?
Hey, what did that?
All right,
Rob.
It killed everything, but it didn't actually work the way that I had hoped it was gonna work. Which doesn't really make any sense. Because it was exiled. So if a creature is exiled, it doesn't get to do its death ability.
Right.
Didn't know that.
Because I was going to use my Pitchburn Devils to kill Austin, so that way everyone would be cleared, but nope.
Okay. I didn't know you were going to do that.
I wanted to have us all back at nothing, so you don't have an advantage over me, and now I'm in last again.
Use all my... Okay, good.
I don't even know why I have 8 health right now. I don't even remember taking much of any damage, but apparently I took...
Nick's just dead.
Yeah, that's why I said you really should have killed the other thing.
Oh, because you could see what cards Austin had in his hand before.
Well, no, that was on the field. Like that's
it wasn't an 8/4.
Yeah, but like if you read the card, he gets an instant
whenever he
back
casts
from the graveyard
whatever.
every turn. Yeah, and yeah.
Got one, boys.
Yeah, that looks pretty good for you. It depends on what I draw here right now.
So like. You basically just threw that game for both of us, Rob.
Not necessarily.
Why did that happen? Also...
I mean, honestly, Nick, I think you basically, at that point, got to choose who won, because...
Yeah.
I accidentally left the game.
Oh, no.
We'll tell you what happens.
I'll be out here.
Yeah, I think if you kill my creature with Shock that turn, Rob would end up winning, more than likely, because we both had nothing on the field.
Okay.
Yep.
He had that definitely very scary.
And you wouldn't. You actually would. I wouldn't have been able to kill you, but he did. So I was just kind of leveling the playing field.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. Still fuck Rob though.
Yeah, that's been a prevailing trait. Oh, not okay.
I'm sorry.
So, like, everybody keeps saying all this shit happened, and then they immediately invalidate whatever they just said by saying, because Google bought Twitch. Even to this point, regardless of all the shit that's happened, they haven't still done that.
Yep, that's true.
There was an article in VentureBeat that led to an article in Variety that now led to an article in Destructoid, all three of them citing each other back to anonymous sources.
Yeah,
which is not journalism.
Yeah,
and I'm really pissed that Destructoid did that too.
The other thing is, like, people cited the use of whatchamacallit, the fact that that they're using audible magic to confirm that it's Google, but it's like That doesn't actually confirm that it's Google.
Disconfirms it to me, because why would they not use Content ID? Why would they pay another company to handle a service?
Magic is the one that. Oh, okay. So you got the Bolton. All right, I lose.
Yeah.
Are they part of Content ID?
I had another sorcery anyway, regardless that turn, so I would have gotten one back. So you would regardless, because I would have definitely drawn one.
I was if I actually got an instant draw instead of this one, like then I would have actually killed you. Unfortunately,
Austin wins, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was close though. It came down to my last straw. Like if I had gotten one of my instant cards, then I would have had you.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, it's the way the magic crumbles.
It does, yeah.
It crumbled
sometimes
fast
it crumbles,
this time.
But Audible Magic is the one that Google uses actually for their Content ID matches on VODs. So
that's why it doesn't work at all and it's awful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Right, and that people are saying like, oh, that confirms that Google has bought Twitch, but it doesn't really, because they're a third party. It's not like Google. If Google owned Audible Magic, then sure, but I don't think it does. I think it's just a third party software. I mean, I should look. Let me look this up. Maybe Google does own it. If Google does own it, then maybe. But Twitch also uses AdSense, and it's been using AdSense forever too, right? So that's also Google owned. It doesn't necessarily.
There's just two things that stand out to me specifically about the situation that I'm uncomfortable with. The first one was, so we all know that the big thing was that the international VODs were matched for copyright content. And what the CEO said in his AMA about that was that it was a mistake, clearly. The software heard the crowd noise, and that set off the Content ID, was the crowd noise. So that tells me, all right, if this system can't even tell what the fuck music is from between music and crowd noise, so it clearly doesn't work well at all, remotely. It will just pick a random noise, and that is suddenly copyright. So how can you get copyright from crowd noise? That's the most...
No, they said that there would be false positives returned in one of their blog posts, and I'm thinking the same thing. Like, this is kind of a problem, because lots of money could be at stake over nothing. Yeah, but they do have an appeal thing. You can appeal when there's a problem, I heard.
Yeah. The second thing that sticks out to me is that clearly some power, whether it be Google or music lawyers or whatever, push Twitch to do this. Someone made... I don't think Twitch... This is clearly something... No, I mean, if you didn't have to do this now, there's no reason to do it now.
They could be protecting themselves from future litigation, or maybe they've had rumblings that there would be at some point.
But why wouldn't they have done that?
Well, okay.
4 months
Here's
ago,
because this is all conjecture anyway. Let's look at the recent history on Twitch. Recent history: 2 massive tournaments just happened. The International had millions
with money
of viewers.
Now. They can afford to fix stuff.
Flooded. Well, yeah. Not only that, but that brought a lot of attention towards Twitch. Not that all the attention was already going towards Twitch anyway. So this was inevitable. They were always going to do something like this. And you know what? People were saying on the Twitch, the Reddit and stuff. They were like, whoa, Twitch didn't need to do this. They weren't pressured. They never got sued. Why do they need to do this? Yeah, that's a great business strategy. Let's wait till we wait till we lose hundreds of millions of dollars to the RAA before we figure something out about this.
But we know how ridiculous the RAA is, and that why would just muting the audio on VODs satiate that requirement? We're still streaming
on YouTube,
right? But we're still streaming live video, live music. Still doing that.
The thing is, it's a legal gray area actually, because what we do when we live stream doesn't necessarily fall into the same boundaries that YouTube does, because that's the difference is it's kind of radio. So you can actually get a radio, Total Biscuit has a radio license so that he can play copyrighted music on his Twitch streams, on his live streams.
So he did radio before he was even involved.
He was. He actually mentioned that in his video.
He still has. But still
he did radio before.
But the legal thing is separated. That's why it's on VODs and not on live streams.
See, I heard a conflicting thing about that. I heard actually from Total Biscuit that he when he was doing radio in England before he was doing Twitch before anything, even though that he had this sort of license, he still had copyright nightmares with RIAA
Right.
and
Yeah,
this to me, this is like if you're trying to cover your ass, like
yeah.
this is not gonna do it if they still want to come after you. They can still very easily come after you.
But
for,
now they
and
can at
like,
least say that they're
if you're
roughly on
streaming
the same
live-
page as Google.
What was that?
I said now they can at least say if somebody goes after them that why didn't you go after Google? They at least we did what they did, kinda.
Yeah. But
And-
the
exactly.
big thing, or at least the thing, like the whole games thing, Twitch is identified as a gaming. So I don't think game companies are gonna. I think game companies are realizing Twitch is really good. Maybe not Nintendo, although
I don't know about Nintendo. Yeah, exactly.
Nintendo's the magical fucking Nintendo. But like it's just there's so many. Technically, I guess legally, if you are a partner from Twitch and you're getting money, you're getting income from ads, and you play copyrighted music on your streams, as far as I know, I'm not a lawyer, but that's you owe royalties for that music.
Well, see,
too.
the thing is, though, with that, it kind of has to do with fair use. And in fair use, if work is transformative, which by the very nature of what we do on Twitch, like if you're listening to music that a streamer is listening to while he's commentating on it and commentating on his gameplay while playing a game, then that is by definition transformative. However, someone has to argue that in court, which is why why the RIAA hasn't really gone after individual streamers, because that's like, if the RIAA loses and they do deem it to be transformative, they are fucked, because the US law operates on precedent, and precedent is set by the court, and if the precedent is set where they lose and they do constitute that as transformative, then it would uphold the ideas of fair use and kind of fuck them over in future litigation. So that's why they tend to stick to the bigger corporations and stuff like Twitch, who they can, like, fucking strong arm money out of, which is also why they did this, why they did the content ID stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, the other thing is, like, for me, like, do we need to play copyrighted music on streams? Like,
We don't
no.
need to, but it's annoying because it's like 99 times out of 100 copyrighted music on streams is background noise and no one's even listening to the song. Like,
Well, I don't understand why it's not counting as a public performance, and I understand the transformative argument, but in this case, it kind of feels like, what if you were just playing some music in the park and it was copyrighted? Like,
yeah.
where does that fall legally? Because I thought certain times if you were airing something to more than yourself, because things are all licensed for individual use, don't you need to be cleared for that? And that's also a different angle than what Austin was saying. So there's like 5 different ways you can look at it.
Now we're getting into just straight up like copyright law, and if you're on the internet, you know that copyright law is absolutely absurd.
Yeah, it's purposely vague. It's purposely vague so that it can be set by courts instead of set by like strict rules, which is the whole idea, really. Like that's the, because like I said, U.S. law operates on precedent. And that means, like, it's purposely vague so that a judge can decide whether or not this constitutes this or whatnot and so forth. So, like, that's the whole thingery-do. And the thing is with, I guess playing music in a park, I don't know, like, that it probably can fall under fair use and transformative, I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
they're
like,
probably
if
not
you
going to
just
go
had...
after a person playing music in a park.
I know.
Because,
that's not what I mean specifically. I mean, like, I think a movie would be a better example if you had a public screening of a movie in a park without any kind of licensing or permission. They all say, like, you can only use this for your own private use. And I believe music functions in a similar fashion. But none of us are qualified to be able to commentate on any of this shit to this level. I just think it's interesting to think about, like, where we are now and what has changed and what hasn't changed, and why this has specifically come up now and is only regarding VODs. And I think that the main reason is they really wish they could do this to actual live streams as well, but there just isn't a way to,
the site would crumble literally if suddenly
you don't even have the technology, I don't think, to be able to pick out video frames that way live streaming. Right. Especially when you have custom UI and all your screen regions are different every time. You know, you can't
have to have like an audio bot that goes to random channels and listens to like a 20-second tidbit for music. And
well, and the risk is detrimental since there's false positives on the audio. At least you're only muting something. But like if you interrupt a live stream with 5,000 people in it, people are going to be pretty pissed, and they'll very quickly turn on Twitch over that.
Yeah. And Twitch has said, and they said in the AMA like 4 times, we're not doing anything to live video. We have no plans whatsoever to do anything to live video.
That's what they said, yeah.
And, you know, of course they say
I've
that.
seen people saying yet is the thing.
Right, yeah.
I'm kind of hesitant to agree with them on that because they kind of shouldn't really want to go after that stuff. But also, I see their angle, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, really, time will tell. I think it's a little overblown up.
Oh, I agree.
It's a lot of overblown.
Like, there are people saying, like, oh, it's time to move to hitbox and stuff, or like,
you don't want to move
to
hitbox.
It's like, you know what?
I can't even move to hitbox.
You really think if enough people went to hitbox that the that they are going to be immune to copyright claims, like they're going to stand up for like what? You really think that's going to happen? Like
they just want to do the Napster cycle, man. They want us to go from fucking Napster to Kazaa to LimeWire, so on and so forth.
Exactly.
And then they just get shut down one after another until you get broad sweeping legislation that shuts them all down permanently.
People are saying some really fucked up shit too. I've been seeing on the Reddit is like yeah, stop subscribing to channels, stop subscribing to people's channels.
That would really help me.
Wow, really? Yeah, that's really You're gonna punish the people who had no part of this process of doing it. It's just like, oh my god,
it's fucking hard enough to do this without all of us eating each other over it. Like,
yeah,
come on.
I think there's 2 things to take away from this. Is that one, Twitch is just like that they're not responsible. Like they didn't do this for shits. They're not they had to do this. They had to do this, and this is probably the least damaging thing they could do to Twitch. You know, but they've said themselves, no one watches VODs on Twitch.
Nobody does,
less than 1%, less than like 1% of 1% of people watch VODs on Twitch. It's just people don't do it.
And you know what? And people were upset about like the having the 60 days only for VODs kind of thing. It's like, honestly, I totally understand why they're doing that. Firstly, Twitch is a streaming service. Nobody watches the VODs. There's not a very good search function to find VODs, to be honest with you.
I think that's the problem, though. Nobody's watching them, and they've kind of just abandoned them.
The thing is, nobody needs VODs on Twitch. You watch the live streams so that they can be live. Like, that's the whole idea.
Right, but
of
they
the
could
whole
have
thing.
been sort of competition to YouTube if they chose to. Instead, they went the other way.
Right, but the other thing is, YouTube is not a profitable company because they have to host so much. They have to spend so much money hosting videos from 2005, and that's why they're not profitable. Is because it's an exponential curve that doesn't make enough money to combat that curve. So Twitch, I think, is preemptive in not trying to do that, which I'm totally fine with. If they're trying to be more profitable than YouTube in the future, Did
you read the blog post, though? Because they said that they actually were tripling all of the backup data for all the VODs, so it wasn't a storage space issue. They're just doing this because they want it to be more secure and they want to keep the focus on live streaming. So, I mean, I understand, but they kind of abandoned it. And, okay, so if they're just saying it, that's conjecture on our part. But also, I kind of maybe agree anyway.
I mean, yeah, well, the thing is, like 5 years down the line, VODs from like when Twitch first started, nobody's gonna watch, and they're still gonna have to pay to host them. So it is fucking YouTube, and it is fucking Facebook too. Facebook spends a lot of money. Like, I forgot, it is some ridiculous number, like 10 to 15%
on lols.
Yeah, on just lol. The word LOL is like 15% of Facebook's server costs is just LOL.
Can you imagine that? So, 3 characters fucking taking up terabytes upon terabytes,
billions of dollars just to keep lol on their site. So like that I understand that with Twitch. I totally do. And I'm okay with that. Like, I know people don't really watch the VODs. I don't think I make any money on VODs.
I honestly,
there's pre-rolls on VODs, I think.
There are. Like, I don't think I make. I mean,
you
like,
show up some days, you get like 5 cents. But if you're like a huge streamer, I imagine you can make like $20 sometimes.
Maybe, yeah.
I wonder, like, I agree with Robin that like Twitch is for live things. Honestly, this might be stupid, and I might be wrong in this, but I feel like the better thing, at least in terms of, well, to me, I wouldn't care if they completely just got rid of the VOD system. Like, say they give you a
Yeah.
day to export your VOD if you want, and then just get rid of it because
close to what they did. I mean,
yeah, oh yeah, that's what I
well,
mean. Is that
60
they went
days.
through this weird, like their timeline was all right. Yesterday morning, they had a blog post about the VODs and making the VODs not last forever and the 60-day, 15-day thing. And then like 7 hours later, they have their blog post about the audio, which nuked so many VODs, basically made them useless. And it's like, I feel like you could have circumvented a lot of this combined anger by just doing one big, all right,
Well,
no
you know
VODs,
what?
or you get your VODs for a day and then they're gone because like
That's-
no one watches VODs.
That's another thing. They dropped a lot of fucking bombs in like a 1-day period.
Right.
And the one bomb that people are actually forgetting about too, because everybody's talking about the VODs and the content ID and all that stuff and the changes to stuff like that. The one bomb that they're forgetting about, and this is another tinfoil hat, maybe Google did actually buy Twitch Interactive kind of thing, is they also cut Justin TV. That's dead now.
Yeah.
Like that was within the same day period of it was Justin TV's dead, VODs are no longer going to be hosted, and then the content ID matching on stuff with the Audible Magic. So like there's a lot of shit that they just dropped at once, and I think their thinking was like, okay,
get it all over.
let's just
with,
take
pull off
all
the
of our
Band-Aid.
hate. Yeah, let's just tear off the Band-Aid, get it all out of the way right away instead of taking steady drops over like announcing this kind of thing over the course of the next couple of months. Just take the one big hit and see where we're left. But then also like that's why it's another tinfoil hat. Like maybe Google did actually buy Twitch Interactive, or that's actually happening because Justin TV doesn't really fit in the whole scheme of things, right? Like because I'm sure Google would be perfectly happy with moving all gaming content from YouTube to Twitch because YouTube does not like gaming content in general. They've never supported their live streaming service. They've never upgraded it, which is also kind of a telling sign because like, why would Google, a massive corporation, not be able to figure out live streaming or try to make it an actually like an applicable service on YouTube? And
I
so
actually
that
read
would
some
make
stuff
sense.
on the Justin page though, and it was like, hey, here's some viable alternatives if you want to stream non-gaming content, and then they cited using YouTube for that. So
Right.
that's kind of interesting, maybe. But like, what other options really are there? Ustream?
Yeah, they also cited Ustream and Livestream, so like, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that like Justin TV especially, because I don't know if you guys had been on Justin TV in the past year, but literally all the channels are like 24/7 Simpsons episodes or 24/7 movies from
I didn't even know
yeah,
that.
like it's like it was super fucked. Like it or like live sports of ESPN or live cast of this channel or whatever. It's
Man,
like
they couldn't manage
that's like
that shit?
super illegal. Super illegal. So if Google did buy Twitch, they don't want because that's going to be a huge story if that actually does happen. They do not want people looking at Justin TV, which is also part of Twitch Interactive.
Yeah.
So it would make sense if they nixed that with thinking that Google was doing it. Yeah, nixed.
Nick's assassin.
But,
that's, that's my assassin.
I'm gonna say I think a lot of the anger for this situation really is actually more fear than I think people are just slightly scared because I mean up until this point Twitch has basically had pseudo immunity. Like they haven't actually had it, but it seems like they have it. Like you've been able you've been able to do anything on Twitch, gaming related, with any kind of copyright, anything, and like they were just immune. No one was saying anything about it. There was no law battle, nothing was going on. It was just fine. And this is the very, very first sign of that
the man
legal
the
man, I guess. But seriously, it's like the first sign, and it was kind of bad timing at the same time. Like again, with all the other things that they did, it was really weird. I think the CEO even said in his AMA, we probably did this way wrong, and we apologize.
You notice how they led too with a nice thing too by adding the hosting feature like a couple days before all of this.
Yeah.
I actually I was looking at because I was watching I was looking at the AMA, and at first I didn't know why like he answered like 3 questions, and then people on Twitter, like Austin included, was just like, yeah, people are just downvoting his comments, which was really fucking stupid, by the way. Like that's not
really
the
immature.
way to. It's really immature way to do it. So they downvoted all his comments.
I will say though that's the subreddit's fault as well, because their system is really stupid. Like if the person replies, even if it's downvoted, it should still be the top reply because it's a freaking ask me anything.
Yeah.
So then you can downvote if you disagree, because then it would still be there and people would see how many downvotes it has and it'd be totally fine. Because honestly, like his first like 6 or 7 responses were really stupid and like evasive of the question. He started getting better like once the AMA was rolling.
But the other thing, like, why doesn't IAMA follow the rules of like some other subreddits where you can't downvote, you can only upvote? Like that would make so much more sense for IAMA, right? Like, because then you still get the top questions that people want to have answered upvoted to the top, and you don't get shit like this happening where the actual like the guy who's replying gets downvoted to the bottom. It's really stupid. But that's like a different thing. The thing that I wanted to mention is they were talking about, he talked about the hosting system. And people were downvoting him, like the hosting system is so fucking, it's like, oh, it's just a money grab, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, really? Hosting? Like that's such a
that's
good
Reddit
thing.
Being Reddit.
Yeah.
How do you even spin that to be negative? Really, I can't really think of many negatives at all.
It was
mad at
it was really funny actually. His first like 10 responses were all heavily downvoted, but one of those responses was a Darude Sandstorm joke and it had like 200 votes.
Oh,
and I was just like,
funny,
all right, I'm glad that through all this rage and anger and hatred, we can still find the time to laugh about Darude Sandstorm.
You just put fucking Franker Z's in there and everybody will upvote your shit.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, is the internet is a fickle place, and people are going to forget about this tomorrow. Nobody's going to boycott Twitch.
This is again, people were scared.
Empty threats.
People were just scared, and they don't want to see more things come.
You know what? I'm with them in their. I'm with them in fear. I
agree.
Twitch forever. I am fearful of Google buying Twitch. I am very afraid of that. I am with the internet on that. But this was like way out of proportion, and it makes it so that if they do something really bad, who's to say? Why are they going to be transparent in the future? Right? Because that's the thing. This is how you make companies not fucking care. Like, there's a difference between a company. I tweeted about this where I said there's a you have to learn the difference between a company that is trying to care, like Twitch, and a company that doesn't give a shit, like YouTube. Because that's the thing. Here's the difference. Twitch, the YouTube CEO, he never would have fucking made an AMA or like talked to people on the.
Who is the YouTube CEO?
Who the fuck knows? Who cares? Like, that's the thing. Like, nobody cares.
It's a robot.
Actually, it was a former. They just changed a couple months ago. It's a former Google marketing exec. But anyway.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
You can really help with YouTube's infrastructure then.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But but like that's the thing. Like, YouTube would have been like, hey, here's some new shit. Take it. Fuck you. That's what YouTube.
The big old dick right across the face. That's YouTube.
But Twitch is not trying to do that.
Twitch is like, all right, this is a dick, but I'm going to tell you all about it, and
we're going to lube it up. We're going to get you ready.
Try and fix it. All right, it's still going to hit you in the face, but just bear with me.
I'm going to take it nice and slow, and I'm going to give you a countdown.
Yeah, like, I can't help this dick that's coming. It's got to come right now, and I'm gonna tell you it's on its way. But just no. Like, YouTube's not going to do that.
I'll even give you a nice soft rag to bite down on if you need one.
And you know what? I'll take that every time over the just here's the dick, fuck you.
Dick.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like the best metaphor
like, this
I think ever.
This was inevitable forever. We knew it wasn't going to be the Wild West forever on Twitch. This was always going to happen. It just happened very suddenly, and people were upset about it, but they were disproportionately upset. And the thing is, what I'm afraid of is the backlash. Maybe Twitch doesn't do this in the future. Maybe Twitch is just like, all right, people are going to be pissed anyway, so fuck it, let's just do whatever we want to do, because that's what YouTube does. And that's what I'm afraid of. And that's also why I'm afraid that YouTube or Google is going to buy Twitch, because if they handle it the same way, that's going to suck. Not to mention, me as a content provider on Twitch, I'm especially scared because that'll cut directly into my paycheck if Google buys Twitch. Like, who's to say if Google's not going to take another 40% out of the subscriptions? And who's to say that if that doesn't carry over? I mean, it's already carried over Google Plus onto YouTube. Why not carry it over onto Twitch too? Get an even bigger user base and carry over AdSense and carry over my fucking network, who's going to take another 40% of my revenue. So, like, a subscription at the end of the day maybe gives me 30 cents.
That's the thing that I was most worried about. Right now, it's like I have 2 jobs. I work at YouTube and I work at Twitch. And I know it's not actually that because I'm not actually employees. I'm like a free subcontractor or whatever you want to say, freelancer, whatever. But yeah, the idea of having those 2 things consolidated into one, and then where that puts Machinima into the mix of things, who I couldn't want to get further away from right now.
Right.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I didn't actually say that. Fuck you. Yeah, I don't want that to happen at all. And if that does happen, I don't even know where you go after that. Like, what do you even do to stay relevant or possibly still keep doing what we're doing? There's not a lot of options. You don't go to Hitbox.
Everything's solved. You know, speaking of Hitbox, you know what's great is that so many people have been rage going to Hitbox that it can't handle it, and that website just keeps going down all day.
That's hilarious.
Not to mention, a lot of the people that are upset about this don't even realize they have a contract and aren't allowed to use Hitbox.
Oh, really? With who? Which people?
I'm not going to say names, but I just know people that have subscriber buttons that are trying to leave and shouldn't, because that's dumb and you're going to get in trouble.
Is it's against the rules with Twitch to stream on another service? Yeah,
you're supposed to stream with Twitch.
I don't know that, actually.
Well, I mean, it varies on every person's contract, so I guess I can't say unilaterally that they're all breaking the rules, but...
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Read your contracts, that's all.
Yeah.
So, I guess at the end of the day, don't be angry, but be kind of worried.
Yeah, I'm
exactly
worried. I'm totally worried about it. I will be the first with you, internet, to raise your pitchforks and torches when Google buys Twitch. But until then, like, read into some shit. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
I mean,
it's the first day. Well, we're recording this after the first day of implementation. Of course, there are going to be problems, and of course, it's going to be implemented badly. Every single example of anything being implemented the first day of anything ever in the history of forever, games, websites, whatever, it always ends up bad at first. Like, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna make the system better. That's
my
the whole
website was fine. I made that shit myself. It works.
Yeah. But you know, so it's just.
And stop misreporting shit too, big websites. Yeah. Stop doing that shit. It's so fucking annoying.
Like, I understand that all of games press is pretty much all of it is blog journalism, and like they're not held to a higher standard in which they need to have real sources. But like, this is like second, third, fourth.
It's fucking common belief amongst everyone I talk to on Twitch is like, oh, so obviously we all know that Google bought Twitch. Like, why do you know that? And then they all say, oh, you didn't see the big article on VentureBeat? Yeah, I did, actually. And it's not a thing.
It's sourceless. It's without a fucking source.
Some guy in an alley told me that Google was buying Twitch,
but, like,
maybe.
That's functionally the same fucking thing. Like, that's like straight up what's going on. Like, Kotaku's reporting, like, oh, Google bought Twitch.
They all just report each other and turn it into a big circle jerk, and then people actually are like, why don't you know this obvious information?
It's like people think they're Adam Schefter from ESPN or something. Like, Adam Schefter will be like, this guy told me this was going to happen in football. And everyone believes him because Adam Schefter is, like, right 95% of the time. Okay. So he's got credibility. Some dude on VentureBeat doesn't fucking have credibility.
Well, random support. Like, usually on these blog sites, it's not even a person who like works in an office. It's just some guy writing in these articles from home.
Some guy usually is lying to get get a bunch of views, and he's like,
the thing is, I kind of believe that it's probably actually true, but until it's actually said to be true, I'm not going to say that.
Exactly. Yeah, I will also not say, like, the writing's on the wall, maybe, but it's not confirmed.
Like, I'm not going to be surprised when that news comes out. I'll go, oh, all right, well, there you go. But right now, I don't know that. So stop telling me that it's obvious, because it's not obvious.
It could be total bullshit. Like, it could be entirely bullshit. And also, like, I don't know. If it's a random source, how do they have the number? And if it's like a business transaction that actually went through, you can't do that in secret. Like that's what they're saying.
Right.
Like, oh, confirm Google bought Twitch for $1 billion in this, but according to a source, it's like, that's like, that has to be public. All of like U.S. law says that you can't do that shit. If they actually bought them for $1 billion, you can go into the fucking you can. Like, there are websites that just have, like, government websites that just have all of these things happening, and you can look at them directly, so you can know if that actually happened. So a random source saying, like, $1 billion purchase, like, happened, I don't know.
So is that just politics where you're allowed to hide and move your money around with super PACs and shit? You can't do that with companies?
Basically.
You can only use tax shelters offshore to do that?
Yeah, companies do that. Yeah, fuck everything. Sorry.
I mean, I don't actually.
I just got really angry at like 3 different things, and I tried to make a joke about all 3, and it didn't work.
I don't know enough to know if Rob is right or not, but I feel like it's probably not as easy as that either.
Well, no, it is actually super. Like, there are government websites. Like, that's how I know that YouTube isn't profitable too, is because, like, it's not like they report this information. You can go look up their W-10s because they have to file them publicly.
I just don't know that firsthand either because I haven't done that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're just government websites you can go on and look at because it has to be public. It's legally required that it's public. Like, Goldman Sachs can't buy Merrill Lynch under the table and then nobody knows about it. Like,
I think if anyone could, they probably could.
Well, okay, yeah, maybe that's a bad example.
I'm pretty sure if anyone can shove $1 billion in 100s under a table, it's probably them.
Yeah,
probably
yeah, that's a good point. But still, you know what I mean. You can't secretly purchase a company like that. That doesn't happen. Maybe they're in talks. I don't doubt that they're in talks. Like, it would
probably in talks.
The other thing is, here's another thing. If the FCC worked how it's supposed to work, then they should really look at this kind of purchase and say, hey, this is a really bad idea. Yeah, this is like totally.
Because the FCC really likes to split up those monopolies.
Like, that's the other thing is all the rumors that Comcast is buying Time Warner and Time Warner's on auction and all that stuff. But, like, if that happens, where Comcast buys Time Warner and one company controls like 60% of the internet, providing the internet for like 60% of the country, then the FCC historically is supposed to be like, hey, nah, son. Can't do that. So that is fucked.
The Comcast Time Warner story is actually the same story, right? It's everyone reporting that a thing happened that hasn't happened publicly?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Because I keep getting told that same thing, that Time Warner has already been bought by Comcast and it's just a matter of time.
It's the whole idea of news. News has become, it's the blog journalism and how news has become just... It's BuzzFeed. Every news site.
I can't handle the fear-mongering anymore. I don't have enough energy for it.
I'm going to get to that. There was a Twitter post showing like 2 different news sites talking about the Ebola patients being moved from Africa to the US.
Man.
Basically, what happened was 2 U.S. citizens were moved from... They had Ebola in Africa, and they were moved to be treated in the U.S. So they wouldn't die. And the 2 different articles or headlines, one of them was... 2 Ebola patients arrive in U.S., being transported. It was accurate titles, okay. And then there was one for Fox News, and it was just like, Ebola in U.S.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you not die with Ebola? I thought if you had Ebola, you're, like, dead.
No, you can be treated.
Yeah, you can totally be treated in America.
Yeah. Wow. It has a very high kill rate.
Yeah, not in America.
But yeah, I mean,
actually Ebola. That's one of the things is the reason it doesn't spread beyond poor countries is because it can be treated if you have money, and we have money.
Well, I thought because the people died before they got a chance to spread it.
Yeah, well,
that's why it spreads slowly. Yeah, or it doesn't. Yeah, I guess it's better.
Yeah. So that disease has been pretty overhyped in terms of its lethality. Then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the whole. It's the same thing. Look, every year here, I'm gonna
Why do we want to sensationalize the death of our civilization? That's not funny.
Oh well, I'll tell you. I'm gonna give you a inside scoop on news cycles
Give
every
it to
year.
me, man.
Every year around this time.
Please give.
Usually, actually, a lot of times it's during the winter and fall. Maybe it'll happen again this year too. There's a new virus that's gonna kill everybody. What last year was
H1N1,
H1N1,
SARS,
staph infection,
bird
SARS. Yeah, like the jungle
jungle
Nile
boogie
virus, all this
Yep.
stuff. It happens every year. Every year at this around the same time. It's to sell newspapers every time. Like the what was it? H1N1 killed like 3 people last year or something, right? Like they were saying it was going to kill everybody.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
it
the reason
like,
H1N1 was scary was because it was infecting healthy people. That was the only reason people there was even news about it.
It killed like an old lady and a baby, and it was like, yeah, I mean those people die a lot as well. So like flu probably killed more babies and old people.
I don't have any
year.
of this information in front of me though, Rob. So I can't honestly believe everything you just said at face value. I'd need to look into it more.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying when there's another flu craze happening, just take it with a grain of salt before you decide to
people
go.
Forget that the flu kills literally thousands and thousands of people like every month.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big that's like a bigger deal than half the other. Like they're always talking about these mega germs that are gonna kill, but it's just to sell fucking newspapers. It's for clicks. It's for fucking clicks. That's all it is. It's for ads.
I mean, in all seriousness, though, a super disease is actually a very possible and probably slightly one of the more likely ways the world ends, kind of thing. But
yeah, maybe.
But
get hit by a fucking comet. Like
you will know. Like you will know when that starts to happen. It won't be like, oh, Ebola in Africa, be scared. It will be like, oh shit, like 10,000 people suddenly infected within a week. And
the thing is, we're also numb to all media that we won't even know how to properly react when something serious actually happens, because we have no channels for real information anymore.
The thing that really irks me is that this kind of thing has gotten to a point where it's been politicized, which really frustrates me. Like the anti-vaccination people.
Right, having an opinion on something now is either it's this nebulous right and wrong that depends on whether or not you believe in the left or the right-wing motives.
Yeah, it's like
It's either right or fucking wrong.
Yeah, like I don't even get where that one comes from. Where it's just like yeah, can't do vaccine, and then everybody. It's like you're going on a fucking gluten diet, except this time you're playing with fucking lives.
It's hipster science. It's like we've invented our own counter science because we just don't like yours. We want a more insular version.
Really fucking frustrating, and I don't know.
That fucks with everybody. That fucks with herd immunity if you start taking away people that are vaccinated, whether or not you believe in this shit.
There's actually been a rise in polio recently because people stopped doing this, the anti-vaccination movement. And it's like,
that's
cure that fucking disease. Like, that's what the vaccination is for, so people don't get that shit.
What's great,
fix that.
You know what's the best, I guess the worst thing about it, about the polio thing, was that it was people who were vaccinated getting polio because of people who weren't vaccinated who had polio.
And you can see that would really easily give them some weird confirmation bias about it too, right?
Yeah, it's awful because you not protecting your own child is now threatening other people who are protecting their children and not being complete imbeciles. You're literally triple dipping and murdering children. Please stop.
Triple dipping and
your
murdering
right
children.
to choose ends at when you're hurting other people. That's how it is with every other fucking law in the world. That your rights.
That's just morality at that point.
Except for religious morality, which doesn't.
You're right. Yeah, but your rights end when they're hurting other people. That's where your rights fucking end. All right. So I don't know. I'm not gonna take it. You know what? And that's the other thing too. Is I hate being I hate doing this and being like I don't want to take it to a political place. This shouldn't be a fucking political thing. This isn't a political thing. It's just. I'm sorry. It's not a political thing. Vaccinate your fucking kids. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, do you like people dying? Because I don't. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And amazingly enough, if you ask enough people, some people will be like, no, I don't agree with you. I kind of want some people to die. Like, well, can you just not be a part of this conversation? Because...
Can be a part of this earth and just leave.
But people have a right to an opinion, but sometimes your opinions are so fucked.
You know what? It's like one of those things. I don't know. I'm not even gonna go into it. This kind of thing is more for an Isaac episode where I can offend a lot of people that I want to offend, where I'm all right with it. I won't go into more of it.
Well,
but like,
I mean, it's yours and my channel. I'm getting more and more tolerant of offending people. Hopefully, people are getting more accustomed to it as well. But yeah, if you don't want to get into it, that's fine too.
I want to say,
yeah.
Sort of off topic, but it relates to what we were talking about earlier. If you want to see slightly underrated, good disease movie, Contagion came out a few years ago. It's actually pretty good.
The movie creased me out.
Yeah,
Man.
I saw that. Yeah, that's
it's pretty accurate. Not accurate, like didn't happen, but it's an accurate portrayal of what could happen in that situation. It's a pretty good movie.
It's a real sad one though.
Who did that? That was Soderbergh. Yeah, Steven Soderbergh. Yeah,
really good. Was it Damon or Wahlberg? I always get them confused.
The same guy.
I think Yeah, it was Matt Damon. Yeah,
Damon.
Matt Damon.
Okay.
If you part his hair on the other side, he actually changes to a different person. Like he just shaves his face on one side and lets the other one grow out. And then he starts walking backwards, and he becomes Mark Wahlberg. It's actually really wild. I've never seen anyone do that before.
Surprising. Yeah.
I can't differentiate the two in movies. Like I can tell you that movie A had either Matt Damon or Mark Wahlberg in it. I will never be able to tell you which one it was.
Yep.
The movie with the title
Payne
that happened. It had Matt Damon or Mark Wahlberg in it.
You trying to say all white people look alike? It's racist.
No, I'm saying Matt Damon and Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg don't even look alike that much.
They just are somehow correctly
It's like
the same.
Mark Damon and Matt Dahlberg.
Wahlberg.
Oh god.
Dahlberg?
Matt Dahlberg. Matt,
Who the hell's Matt Dahlberg?
Introducing Matt Dahlberg. In this summer's blockbuster, shark attacks cause germs, tornado, meteorites.
I was gonna work a tornado in there. I'm glad you did.
Yeah,
Is there a movie that just came out? Comes out tomorrow. By the time
Sharknado
we're
2.
this, about a tornado, like Into the Storm. It's what it's called, I think.
Yeah.
Are there sharks?
No, it's just a town gets hit by multiple tornadoes. Disaster.
Oh, you know we have like the Midwest for that movie if you want to just go.
Yeah, just film them.
Seriously, just film anywhere around Oklahoma City last year, and you will have. Last year in Oklahoma City, there was literally the largest tornado.
It's like Universal Studios in fucking Oklahoma.
I wanted
that happened.
Yeah, well, also, North Dakota had, like, the worst hurricane ever last year that destroyed everything, but nobody reported it, really, because...
Wait. North Dakota?
Yeah.
Had a hurricane?
They had some... Yeah, no, but maybe... Yeah, no, I think it was the hurricane. I think it was some fucked up shit.
Wait, do you know this?
Wait,
you can't just backpedal away from a hurricane in North Dakota.
Well, there was a tornado in New York, like, last year or 2 years ago.
I had a tornado on my road.
Not a hurricane, though.
All right, hold on. North Dakota.
Rob, I don't think you know what a hurricane is.
There was a minor touchdown on literally the road I live on in New York, in upstate New York, and it like swirled a bunch of trees together and fucking spaghettified all the power lines at the bottom of the mountain.
Nick, I'm sorry, but he just said a hurricane hit North Dakota.
I know.
On the same page?
I'm giving him some time so he can go Google it and figure out if he meant a hurricane.
I'm Googling it right now.
I know you are, and that's why I was talking.
Rob, hurricanes form in the ocean.
Maybe it's a tornado.
It was probably a tornado.
Maybe it was a blizzard. I don't remember. Maybe it was a blizzard.
Okay, Rob.
There was something, some like massive shit.
It could have been a bad storm, but it wasn't a hurricane.
It was a tsunami in North Dakota.
That would be amazing.
There was a glacier that crushed North Dakota.
I don't know.
I would have actually believed the glacier too.
But anyway, my point was that that it happened and nobody reported it because it's North Dakota.
Nobody
really cared. Yeah, but also the other thing I was gonna say was like it's hard to feel bad for people who live in. It's hard to feel bad for people who live in Tornado Alley because it's like, guys. Like, you live in you
don't want to say that.
Tornado Alley.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not
of course,
people don't have a choice where they live sometimes, and that's not really fair.
No, I agree, but it's like the Louis C.K. bit of like the of course but maybe thing, where it's like of course, I feel bad for anybody who's displaced by a tornado, like or lose, like that's fucked up, like obviously, but maybe you shouldn't live in a place called Tornado Alley. Like, maybe if I lived in a neighborhood called Stabby Stabby Get Dead Town, I would consider moving. You know, like, maybe I'd work some shit out and go somewhere else.
If it was solidified to the point where that was the name of the town, I think there's bigger issions. Because they've accepted it at that point. They've embraced that that's the title of this town. You need to get some cops.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Newark, actually.
Dead town.
Fucking crazy. That tornado that I'm talking about was 2 miles wide. 2 miles.
2 miles.
Wide. That's absurd.
They had a prison that was in 1 mile, if I remember. Or no, it was 8 miles. That was.
Oh yeah, 8 miles.
That's
where Eminem lives. Eminem lives in the 8 miles. I've heard.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Nick? Oh.
I do these free association jokes that don't actually have a punchline or are funny, and I just let them come out sometimes.
Yeah, it's Nick humor. Rob humor is just taking
those
punchlines and changing the words. Yeah,
Rob humor
I just
is
say weird things.
Hitting North Dakota.
Yeah. I like my Rob humor example would be Shade File. There you go.
Oh, I like the sound of that though. It reminds me of shale.
Yeah, it sounds, yeah.
I have less sympathy for people who decided to set up a house like 3 feet away from a beach than I do about living in Tornado Alley.
That one
issue is Tornado Alley is literally like 1/3 of the country.
Yeah, it's a massive area, but like if you live on a beach, the chances of there being waves are very, very high.
I'm pretty sure I live in Tornado Alley right now.
Oh wow.
The very, very southern tip of it, but I mean Tornado Alley is like,
oh yeah, you do. Yeah, it's like part of Texas, like Kansas and Arkansas. But it's like, why are you living in Kansas or Arkansas anyway? Just move. Like that's a bad
farmland, man.
I don't agree with you on the Tornado Alley thing, but Oklahoma City, I know it's a big city, but that thing has the worst luck with tornadoes. Like, yeah, like last year it was Moore, Oklahoma, which was outside. I think it was Moore. Got hit by, and this wasn't even the same 2 mile tornado, but it was an F5 tornado.
Oh, isn't that as high as they go?
Yes, actually, I think you can actually. Well,
is there a new classification?
There was one tornado that was also in Oklahoma City that I think hit like 10 years ago. That was like 310 mile/hour winds or something, and they wanted to maybe call it F6 because it was the fastest winds ever recorded on a tornado, but they were like, nah, we'll just keep calling it F5. But yeah, like you could still technically go past F5. It just
you can F5 to quick save.
Yeah, you could refresh too.
Refresh, yeah.
You refresh
I am personally fascinated by tornadoes. That's why I'm kind of going off on a tornado tangent.
Now that Obama broke the weather by messing up all of the shit, I'm assuming probably like F10s and shit with like black holes are gonna start opening up over Oklahoma City next year.
Yeah, those are the ones that their tornadoes made entirely of planes.
Nice. There's actually, speaking of crazy,
they're called a singularity.
There's 2 hurricanes, 2 separate hurricanes, both heading towards Hawaii at the same time right now.
Oh, it's a perfect storm type conditions. They should call up Mark Wahlberg.
Nice. Or is it Matt Damon?
Also, isn't there a volcano starting in the Yellowstone Park? I mean, it's always been there, but isn't it starting to like go off?
Oh, is it really?
It's starting to go off for like.
Well, yeah, it's like Pompeii too. It's like I can't feel that bad for the people in Pompeii.
Well, yeah. It just like melted the roads in front of Yellowstone Park, I think is what I read.
Oh, that's shitty.
Yeah, you could have driven on those, and now they're just tar.
If I had to pick away the world, it's probably Yellowstone. That'd be the coolest way.
But nobody leave comments saying that it's like new information that there's a volcano there. I know that. You don't have to tell me that. I know I'm going to get a lot of that.
Okay, yeah, it was Mark Wahlberg in the Perfect Storm.
Actually, now I was making.
Also, yeah, no, you made me be like.
Are you sure though? Look 3 times because the second or third time.
I'm at IMDb. There's actually a really great picture of George Clooney. From Perfect Storm, like here, look at you.
Well, no, the thing is, like, if you read Mark Wahlberg's name enough times, it might change.
That's a good point. Yeah,
he might have shaved his face and his head again, and maybe he'll switch places.
They could have just changed the names. Yeah.
What do you mean? What? We went over how he keeps one part of his face covered in hair, and then he shaves it, and then he grows in the other side, and he changes forms.
I was making a Mark Wahlberg joke.
Oh, god damn it! Oh, I hate that movie so much. It's so bad. Oh, it's so bad.
Did you see the George Clooney picture that I linked? It's like, that's a big fucking wave.
Guys, do you have any closing thoughts? I think we need to close up this episode.
Yeah,
now.
we should probably.
We were angry. We made Mark Wahlberg jokes. We talked about the world ending in multiple ways.
It's a solid episode.
Yeah.
There was good
I'm
discussion.
not going to let you live that down, by the way, Rob.
We don't have to. Make it a topic on his stream or something like
there's
this.
There's gonna be a hurricane in North Dakota next year. It's gonna happen.
You're just very confident about it. It made me laugh.
I'm sorry, North Dakota people watching the stream. You're gonna get hit by the hurricane.
All like 2 of them are gonna be devastated.
I want the best for our North Dakota viewers, so don't listen to these guys. I care about you. Don't let them bother you.
Be worried about this hurricane on the way. There's gonna be a new sea. Canada's gonna fall out, and then there's gonna be a sea there.
Canada's gonna fall out.
Yeah.
Of what?
I think there's like at least 9 people that live in the Dakotas total.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Are they
like
snowflakes?
Basically.
Probably. Anyway, thanks for watching Magic, everybody.
Thanks for watching. See you later.
Bye.
Goodbye.